Welcome to week two of the smartphone round robin. Casey Chan here for Android Central, and we have the AT&T Fuse, a Windows mobile device, and it has the touch diamond backing, which gives it a great look. It's a very solid device, but more importantly, it has a touchscreen. I find it to be fairly comparable to the G1's touchscreen, though I still prefer the G1's capacitive touchscreen over the AT&T Fuse resistive touch. Taking a look at it further, it's a well-made device, and more importantly, it's a slider. We're all familiar with the slider with the G1, and taking a look at the keyboard, we can see that there is every button known to man here. The one, two, three, four, the number pad is set there, and there are dedicated buttons that I don't think we can remap. There's also page up, page down. There's basically every button a keyboard should have is here. Let's take a closer look at the form factor. There's a push to talk button, a volume control down, volume control up, and also there's a power button that doubles as a lock and unlock. There are no buttons on the right side of the device, which I found oddly weird, but I think it's more because when you slide open the keyboard, your fingers rest on it like a DS kind of. So then buttons would get in the way. The front face of the phone houses a couple flush buttons. There's a home button, back button, end call, make call. There's also a kind of scroll wheel, kind of directional pad. It depends, depending on your application. As you can see, there is a camera with a flash. It works pretty well, and of course, the HTC branding. Sadly, they include one of these XUSB all-in-one microphone charging syncing cables thingies, which we hate here at Android Central. They include an adapter, but I still don't know why they choose this over a 3.5 millimeter. The touchscreen attracts fingerprints. That's a fact of life. The backing, the glossy black, also does that too. This is a more fingerprint attracting device than the iPhone 3G. As you can see, we have a glimpse of TouchFlow 3D, which we'll get into right about now, actually. TouchFlow 3D is, from what I understand, an HTC specific software that lies on top of Windows Mobile that provides for like a smoother interface and a basically touch-based interaction. As you can see, we just flow through the screens and see our good friends Renee and Dieter, of course. Taking a look at emails, you can actually see that the email is on the screen. That's an actual email that you can see through TouchFlow or in the inbox. Looking at the inbox, see that's an actual email, but you can see it in the inbox or on the screen. Text messages can also be navigated through TouchFlow 3D. Just flick it one way, flick it the other way. AT&T has their apps that all under one tap. There's internet browser, of course, music, cover flow type. Oh, let's go back to the internet. The default browser is actually Opera Mobile, which is a solid browser, which we'll get into later. The weather app is actually very nice. As you can see, there's actually raindrops on the screen, and a wiper comes through to clean them off. I like the animation of the weather. Um, as you can see, the weather, the clouds, everything works pretty well. It's a pretty good looking user interface from what I can tell so far. There's a separate tab for programs. There's ActiveSync, Opera Mobile, Windows Media Player, Notes, Tasks, and so on. You can also add your own application. Just press the plus sign and then scroll through and see whatever you want to add. It works pretty well. I'm pretty impressed with TouchFlow 3D. Pictures work the same. You just basically flick up, flick down, double tap, zoom in, so on. It's TouchFlow 3D, and it makes sense. I'm pretty impressed with it. What I want to show you though that is unique to Windows Mobile that Android does not yet have is that the whole top bar is pressable. You can press the start button. I believe you can customize this app list to your needs. Also, more importantly, the notification system works pretty well because you can see the system status by just pressing the top bar. It's pretty easy to know, easy to change as well. There's also a task manager that lists memory management and all the apps that are open. Therefore, background tasks are available, and you can close and open whatever you want from this screen. You can see the memory usage exact. There's 490K, 487K. Um, It's a pretty in-depth look at how your system's running. I'm not used to using a smartphone with so much information given to me. I mean, I just usually trust the G1, but with Windows Mobile, they actually tell you. When you flip it to the horizontal landscape mode, you can see that the basic icons are still there, so everything's accessible and very easy and intuitive to use. Web browsing is done through Opera Mobile, which comes included with Windows Mobile. It's a okay, decent browser. It renders everything pretty accurately, but I'm not really a fan of the experience. The user interface is a little clunky. It, you can double tap to zoom in. You can also use the scroll wheel around the D-pad to zoom in as well. My problem with it is I'm not sure how to click the links. Sometimes the touchscreen doesn't register if I want to open it. Like right now, I'm trying to open the smartphone round robin link and it doesn't work. If I pull out the stylus and try to tap it, it still doesn't open. I'm not really sure. It's not as intuitive as the G1's web browser for sure. Portrait mode and landscape mode is supported. Overall, it's a decent browser. I would say it definitely trails the G1, and there's just hiccups in the systems that I'm not used to. Right now, I'm stuck in horizontal mode, but I'm in portrait, and I want to go back to the home screen. It takes too long. Firing up a basic game, I think it's called Bubble Breaker or Bubble Popper or something like that. Basically, you just match the colors and you just tap it and it explodes and you get points. It's a fun puzzle game. A lot of games on the Windows mobile devices are puzzle-based games. You know you're still playing the game on the cell phone. It's not as impressive as some of the games I've played already, and but it works. A lot of people say that Android is inconsistent in its UI design, but with TouchFlow 3D and Windows Mobile, you kind of get two different experiences. TouchFlow 3D kind of dumbs down and makes things easier and basic, while at its core, Windows Mobile is one of the most powerful smartphones available. It's for power users who wants customization and access to basically everything. I'm still trying to wrap my head around Windows Mobile. It's really a truly powerful device. So stay tuned to Android Central for full coverage of the AT&T Fuse and Windows Mobile.